Someone down on you don't know where I went wrong. Tell me there's a land where the sky meets the sea. Tell me there's someone out there now listening. Help me to figure my way out, 'cause I don't know how to save myself on somebody. Throw me a lifeline. Throw me a lifeline. Easy to let go, easy to lose hope, and life can sometimes bring you down. It's hard to keep believing things happen for a reason, and what was lost can still be found. Tell me what which way is lonely, can't find my way home. Tell me there's land where the sky meets the sea. Tell me there's someone out there now listening. Help me to figure my way out, 'cause I don't know how to save myself on somebody. Throw me a lifeline. Throw me a lifeline. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Stay right where you are. Hold on, it's not the end. Come on, come on, come on. We gotta get on your feet again. Tell me there's a land where the sky meets the sea. Tell me there's someone out there now listening. Help me to figure my way out, 'cause I don't know how to save myself on somebody. Throw me a lifeline. Throw me a lifeline. Throw me a lifeline. Throw me a lifeline. Reflections in the glass. I smile but I can't look back. The truth is staring back at me. There was a time I knew that no matter come with me, love would prevail. And then, inside the dreams I knew, came the question of his fear, can true love fail? I will miss the child and haven't I sung of the night long bright, faithful and true to you, darling, after all. I will even try to let you smile. After all, My heart and mind, no matter come with me, it will survive. Space and time keeps the galaxies standing alive. And the love that heals the world after the race is divided on the bright, faithful and true to you. After all, I feel to Welcome to Afrikaap Radio Online.
24/7. With tailored shuttle solutions, you receive efficient and reliable transport without the hassle of booking fees and downtime via an app. Their service is affordable and even better yet, woman-owned and run. They are also the preferred transport partner for Afrikaap Radio. Contact Shani Peterson either by telephone or WhatsApp on 071-314-9133. Tailored shuttle solutions for tailor-made transport services.
So jy kan toermeubels vir jou klein besigheid, bestaande onderneming of selfs vir jou home office.
Stukas is die beste tweedehands meubelswinkel in die noordelike voorstede.
Besoek ons by 5 Nicholsack, Brackenfell en ontdek ons wye verskeidenheid kantoormeubels wat pas by jou begroting en behoeftes. Ons het alles wat jy nodig het om jou werksruimte te verbeter.
Volg ons op Facebook by Tukas Facebook-page. Skakel Johan Gysing slegs by afsprake 072-444-3401.
Tukas, waar kwaliteit, begrotingsbaarheid hand in hand gaan.
For more info, contact us on www. For more info, Continental Eatery in Kelsriver is all about Cape soul food. Come and enjoy your favorite Kom Vandaan classics from Gatsby's to Sisters with even an Eggs Benedict in the middle. For more info, contact us on www.dnacafe.co.za.
Whether you like it light and sweet, or perhaps even dark and bitter, Jude's Running Coffee Ground is the perfect job to kickstart your day. For every purchase made, they will donate 10 Rand to the Special Olympics team of the Western Cape. Follow them on social media, the Diamond Ground Coffee Spot, or order now via WhatsApp on 076 682 8045. Jude's Running Coffee Ground. Coffee for a cause.
Selling or renting property can be a very daunting task that may leave you feeling overwhelmed. Meraki Property Solutions facilitates a smooth and successful sale or rental process by matching qualified buyers and tenants with quality sellers and landlords so that the right property is matched to the right person. So, if you want to work with an agent who is not only experienced but also highly trained and knowledgeable, Meraki Property Solutions is the right choice for you. Contact them today to learn more about how they can help you achieve your real estate goals on 079 495 7358 or check out their website www.merakipropertylistings.co.za. Meraki Property Solutions, your local real estate matchmaker.
24 hours of non-stop anthems.
Broadcasting live worldwide.
A wise man once said, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts." This is Walk to Wellness with Alton David, right here on Afrikaap Radio.
Welcome to Afrikaap Radio Online.
24/7.
All right, good evening, good morning, welcome. If you've tuned in across the country, across the world, my name is Alton. The show is called Walk to Wellness, brought to you by All My Sports SA, live from our studios in Cape Town. It is a bit cold, some would say, to the point that I'm even wearing a long pants today, but please believe it or not, just because it is a bit cold. So yeah, I played Elvis Blue, Lifeline, and I played Al Jarreau After All, because after all it is a bit cold, and I'm hoping to be your lifeline tonight, and I'm hoping that you'd be my lifeline and join in the conversation and share in the topic. Last week we spoke about mental agility and strength and ability. Tonight we're going to shift the focus and speak about the growth mindset. There's a few things, firstly, that I want to say. That these thoughts are my own, and they're not that of Afrikaap Radio. And yes, Cecilia, I am wearing a long pants, a tracksuit pants for a change. My mother even asked me if I was ill, because it's unusual for me to wear long pants. But because I was out on the street for most of the day, and it was a bit cold, I decided to wear a tracksuit pants. So yeah, there it is. But please believe it or not, I do have long pants in my cupboard, and I am wearing one today. So let's let's focus on the task at hand. I'd like you to think about a concept called paradigm shift. A paradigm shift is a set of beliefs that you have. It's a norm, it's a standard, it's a process. And a paradigm is a way of looking at something. The word paradigm often relates to academia, to scientific space, into the world of work. And a paradigm shift is taking that same information and unpacking it and coming up with something different. And that's ideally where I'd like us to go. I'd like us to think about or bear that concept in the back of your head for the entire duration of this evening. Because what I think we're going to do is create a new paradigm shift. There's going to be a shift in the way that I've certainly come to live in preparation for this. And I'd like to think that there may be pearls of wisdom that stand out for you as a result of all of this. So if you remember last week, we spoke about a growth mindset. We spoke about mental toughness. And to recap, A mental strong and a mentally strong is someone who is able to do amazing stuff and be able to be resilient, is able to be committed to the task at hand, despite what happens in their space. A strong-minded person is often what we call a stubborn person. Someone who's stuck in their way, someone who is stuck in what they believe, someone who is stuck in the concept and process of life. We also looked at the difference between mental health and mental strength. And the mental health is about the well-being of our mental being and our mental space in how we deal with stress and anxiety and other mental issues. Whereas mental strength is about the ability and the strength for us to be able to be goal-directed, to be able to be focused, to be able to find our way in and amongst that maze that we find ourselves, and we're able to kind of plot a path to go forward. There's a concept in life that says the only thing that is constant in life is change. The only thing that is constant in life is change. Because no matter what we do, we are always in a state of flux. We are always in a state of where things are going to happen in our world and in our space that is going to change us, that is going to shape us, and that is going to help us reevaluate and evaluate everything that we do. And having that background, we develop a principle called a growth mindset. And a growth mindset is, simply put, it's a process to develop and enhance the skills, talents, and expertise through discipline, through dedication, through effort, through learning, through experimenting, through evaluating, to a point where we can see life differently. It's an opportunity for us to evaluate what is happening. It's a time for us to understand that there are opportunities for growth. If you want to join the conversation, you're welcome to join the conversation on our WhatsApp line in studio, which is +27069 2459543, or on my YouTube, my Insta, and my Facebook. There's a few people that's on the WhatsApp line that's commenting about how good evening and how cold it is, and we'll get to some of those messages in a minute. But please join the conversation. Tell me your thoughts. Again, personal growth or the growth mindset is about unpacking and developing our talents, our skills, our expertise, our abilities through evaluation, through discipline, through dedication, through effort, through learning, through opportunities for change. And often we battle with that. Many of you will know I am a firm believer of a SWOT analysis, and somehow it comes into every week's conversation. Maybe I should tattoo it on my arm, like as a reminder. But a SWOT analysis is what are our strengths, what are our weaknesses, what are opportunities, and what are our threats? What, at any given point, is your measure of evaluation? Because unless you have a measuring tool, you're not able to see whether there's progress. You're not able to see whether things are happening. In a fitness space, it's how fast, how high, how long, how quickly you can do something. We spoke about mental agility last week. Mental agility is how quickly we can navigate and transition through spaces where things seem difficult. So what is your measuring stick? What are you using to gauge how nimble you are in these spaces? How quickly and effective you are about being able to shuffle between a space. I used the example last week of you driving in a space and there's an accident ahead. You have two options, really. One, you're either going to wait there until the accident is clear before you move, or two, you're going to find an alternative path, either left, right, reverse, whatever it may be. Those are the only two options you have in that situation. Mental agility is looking at that space and saying, if I go back, can I? No, I can't. There's a car behind me. If I go left, I'm going to hit a tree. I'm going to go over a curb, etc., etc. If I go right, I can bypass the accident, but I'm going to have to go far right into the oncoming traffic. Is it safe to do that? Yes, it is. Okay, let's go. Or no, I've got to wait until there's space. That's how quickly mental agility needs to kick in. Because unless we are able to have that mental agility to shift our mind and be able to look at possible solutions to change any given situation at any given point, we are going to be stuck in that mud. We are going to be a tree planted firmly along that riverbed and is hoping to blossom fruit for the rest of our lives. And none of us are trees. None of us are planted firmly in any given space where we are able to be stuck in that space. Because at any given point, we must be able to transition into a different space. We must be able to transition into a space that is going to be beneficial to us. We must transition into a space that is going to allow us to become better, to become different, to grow. And unless we have that ability, again, my question is, what is your yardstick? How are you measuring how effectively you are moving? How quickly can you transition between left and right, between up and down, between challenges? Because unless we are able to transition, we're not going to go anywhere. Rachel Goldberg says, when faced with challenges, these challenges become opportunities for growth rather than setbacks or reasons to shy away. Let me read it again. When faced with challenges, these challenges become opportunities for growth rather than setbacks or reasons to shy away. So when you're faced with a challenge, what are your immediate steps? Do you immediately step back and say, I don't know what to do? Or do you step back and say, that's interesting. Let me look and survey the landscape and see what is in there. Because remember, we can only control what is within our control. I can't control what you're thinking. I can't control what you're doing. I can control and I can challenge me. I can challenge you, but at the end of the day, your response is determined by you. Newton's third law says for every action, there's an equal but opposite reaction. So how do you, in whichever way you respond to a situation, note that there may be a possible, similar and identical response. So if, as an example, something bad happens, you can treat it poorly, and invariably you'll possibly get a poor response in return, or you could treat it with love and kindness and empathy, and that would be reciprocated back. So as much as it's a physical science theory, I think it applies to life. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And often we take for granted what the responses will be. Because we get so caught up in the I that we forget there are other people in this world. We get caught up in the opportunities to want to prove others that I am the best, I am successful, I am this, I am that, without realizing the impact that it has on other people. We forget about the challenges that people face. We forget about how people respond, or in some cases, the challenges that they have as a result of the opportunities and the learnings that they've had in their lives. Many times, we forget that as our faces differ, so too our needs differ, so too do our experiences differ, so too do our challenges differ. Just because I'm smiling and laughing and joking with you does not mean that I'm hurting inside. And often we lose that sense of humanity because people think that everything's okay. People think that we are smiling, so everything must be okay. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, those people are hurting. Those people are in pain purely because they have a buffer. So often, people who are extrovert, people who make a noise and who are the life of the party, often do that because they want to hold people away from them. So by being loud and brash and noisy, you gravitate to them because you want the good times, but you don't get to know them because it's all about the good times. And sometimes those are the very people who are hurting the most. Those are the very people who are battling the most. Those are the very people who've had significant trauma. This book that I'm reading called Longevity, The Secret to Longevity by Dr. Peter Attia, speaks about trauma in the following way. And he says, you get a big trauma, which we all know about, sexual abuse, verbal abuse, emotional abuse, and then he speaks about the little traumas. The little traumas we don't think about. And he uses the analogy of little traumas being a million paper cuts. It's there, but you don't know it's there. You feel it, but it's not there. And he used an example of how many of us, in fact, I think all of us, have been a victim of abandonment. And you're thinking, wow, this guy's on a different tangent here. You are right, I'm on a different tangent because I got sidetracked to this. So we are all victims of abandonment because this has consumed me this past 4 days since reading this, and then I'm trying to grapple my head around it. Maybe you can make some sense for me. Maybe you can make some sense for me. So he's saying the big trauma we know. The little traumas we don't generally understand because we don't even know that exist. So he used the example of abandonment. So your parents give birth to you. Great. Life is all peachy. They go to work, they put you in a daycare facility, or you have a nanny looking after you. Right there and then, at that very moment, on that first day, when those parents leave and go to work and they go somewhere, we have that sense of that my parents have left me. But they're coming home. But in that moment, you have that sense of abandonment, and it is relived over and over and over every day till eventually we make peace with it. Till eventually we kind of understand that, man, this is life. Because if my parents don't leave me, they're not gonna have money to go to put food on my table, they're not gonna buy me a nappy, they're not gonna be able to pay for this person looking after me. And that trauma sits within us. We get into relationships and the relationship breaks up. The partner goes one way, you go another way, and we experience this trauma. And again, it's relived subconsciously in the way that it's there. And the outcomes of trauma is addiction, in whatever form it may be. We only think of it in terms of gambling, alcohol, drugs. But what are you addicted to? What is your safe space that you fall back into every time you feel uncomfortable? What is the space that makes you want to do things over and over? In my case, it's work. In my case, it's sport. It's my safe haven. It's the space where I feel most comfortable. So from an addictive point of view, I think my addiction is work. I think my addiction is sport. Because like you, we've all come through this abandonment space. And we deal with it in different ways. Some of us still feel abandoned. Some of us still feel hard done by the fact that we are not in a relationship, that this person has harmed us, that friend has done that, this family member has done that. And we retreat into ourselves, into the space where I don't want to be around people. I don't want to be in a space where people are going to hurt me and abandon me and throw me to the road. Hence, we come up with a growth mindset to try and help break these barriers. I'm going to give you a few minutes to stew on that. I'm going to play my good friend Cecilia's, one of Cecilia's favorite songs. Also one of my favorite songs by Stevie Wonder called Overjoyed, while I give you a chance to stew on that.
Over time, I've been building my castle of love, just for two. Though you never knew you were my reason, I've gone much too far for you now to say that I've got to throw my castle away over dreams I have picked out of perfect come true. Though you never knew it wasn't you I've been free. The Sandman is come too far away for you to say come back some other day. And though you don't believe that they do come true. Forget my dreams until when I look at you, and maybe to a few would believe you too might be overjoyed, over love, over me. Over hearts I have painfully turned every stone, just to find I have found what I've searched to discover. I've come much too far for me now to find the love that I sought can never be mine. But you don't believe that they do come true. Forget my dreams come true when I looked at you, and maybe to the few would believe you too might be overjoyed, over love, over me. It's only I see what do they know? What do my needs is a chance, and maybe with a chance you won't find you too like a lie. Overjoyed, over love, over you.
A wise man once said, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts. This is Walk to Wellness with Alton David, right here on Afrikaap Radio.
Welcome to Afrikaap Radio Online.
24/7.
Welcome to Afrikaap Radio Online 24/7, your international internet radio brought to you all over the world. The show is Walk to Wellness, brought to you by All My Sports SA. My name is Alton. I'm the host of this Thursday night exchange, where we talk a range of different things. Tonight we're talking about growth mindset, and I thought I'd set the scene for where I think we should be going. I set the scene of us fighting the demons in our heads, in our hearts, in our minds about all the challenges that sit within us, because often we forget about them. And like I say, these challenges are often hidden underneath tons of rubble. So the growth mindset, again, is we wanting to create a paradigm shift. And a paradigm shift is us wanting to move into a different space, move into a different era, for want of a better understanding. You know, in 1994, we, those of us who live in South Africa, voted in a new voted, and we created a new dispensation. So I want you to think about or use that analogy to kind of springboard into the space of creating a new dispensation for yourself, a new space of doing different things differently. So let's look at the principles around a growth mindset. One, it's about the fact that intelligence is malleable. Malleable meaning that intelligence is changing, and we need to evolve with it. We need to be in a space where we're able to shift how we see things. We must be able to evaluate almost on the fly what's happening. We must be able to look at a situation and say, whether we use whichever measuring tool, SWOT analysis, pros and cons, there are multiple tools within your toolbox that you can acquire over time. And you need to find the one that works specifically for you. You need to find the one that works for you. Once we're able to understand that we are able to shift our mindset, we are able to unpack the various components, we then need to look at what are the challenges. We need to see the challenges and the setbacks as opportunities for learning and growth, rather than opportunities that's going to limit us and block us. Because once we unpack that, we can then understand where we're at. So it's surveying the landscape. It's understanding that our intelligence is, the information we gather is ever evolving. The information you know 5 minutes ago is different to the information you know now. And the challenge may shift as with the more information we have. We're then able to understand and build a strategy around where we want to go. Then we need to get and build a feedback mechanism to be able to unpack it and get a response. Whether it is you have a sounding board of someone who is in your space, whether it is you write it down and review it. But there needs to be some feedback mechanism. In a sporting space, when you're exercising and you're running hard, your heart's pounding, you're out of breath, your legs are screaming, your body's screaming. That's your body's feedback mechanism. In the same way, when you knock your head against the wall, you'll feel the pain. You'll see the blood. That's a feedback mechanism. In a trauma response, how you deal with it is your feedback mechanism. Is it when you become addictive? Is it when you become loud? Is it when you have the experience of being uncontrollable? That's a feedback mechanism. then we need to have the persistence and resilience to be able to carry on through that tough time, to be able to find the way to deal with it, to be able to unpack it, to be able to say, this is not nice, this is hard, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it because I want to achieve a positive outcome. I want to be able to see a difference. I want to be able to evaluate whether I'm doing this right. I want to be able to fight this thing. And fight is not necessarily a physical fight. It could be as a result of multiple prong approach of dealing with a situation. And once we're able to understand all of those things, we're now able to do things differently. We are able to be more disciplined. We are able to be more committed. We are able to be more focused in the situation. We are able to stand firm in the challenges. We are able to have a different perspective. We are then able to have the resilience to bounce back. The resilience and the flexibility to say, no matter how strong the wind is going to come, I may sway left or right. I may sway forward or back. But I'm going to get through this. I'm going to fight through this. I'm going to take the opportunities that presents itself to be able to do things differently. It also creates the space for us to have a better mental space. We spoke about strong-mindedness. We spoke about ability and agility. We spoke about the strength that we have in the current space. We spoke about the confidence, the adaptability, the self-worth, the sense of awareness of where we're at. Because at any given point in time, we've got to know where we're at. We've got to be able to unpack and almost remove, and it feels almost like deja vu because I say the same thing. I use the same examples over and over because they are so pertinent. They're so simple and yet make so much sense. We have to remove those blinkers of being a racehorse because we are chasing down the racetrack, and our heads are so focused in one direction that we forget to see what's happening next to us. Because like a racehorse, we have those blinkers that prevent us from seeing the horse next door to us for fear of being distracted. But to have a growth mindset, we have to be distracted. We have to be able to see the different options. We have to be able to see what's happening to the left and to the right, what's happening above us, what's happening below us. Have a sense of what's happening behind us. Because unless we have a full 360-degree observation, it makes us safe. In 1991, for many of you, it's just a year. For me, it was a significant year because I passed my driver's license. And it was the year after they introduced the K52, what in South Africa is now known as the K53 system. And the K53 system is where you have to look with every move you make. Look left, look right, look at your mirrors, whether you indicate, whether you are changing lanes, before you stop, everything you needed to check, do the observations. And it was difficult for me because at that point I was already driving for 4 years. I started driving when I was 14, driving my father's car in and out of the driveway around the block. You know, when you were young, you wash the car and you take the car around the block. No, Dad, the car must drive. Make it easier to drive. I'm going to drive it around the block. I drove my uncle's cars. My one uncle was a mechanic. And pull his car in and out of pull the cars in and out because there are so many cars. You pull out, here's a car, here's a key, pull it in and out. So, yeah. I even knocked a teacher's car at high school in standard 7 grade. What do we know? Grade 9. I drove a teacher's car in the parking lot. She gave me the keys. She said, go pull the car. And I knocked it into a little pole. So the point I'm trying to make is at that point, I didn't know about K53. I didn't know about checking mirrors, checking this, checking that. I just drove forward. And I knocked the pole next to me. The car hit the pole next to me. Because we get so caught up again in that space where we are living with that blinkers. We are living with that space of not being able to do our observations. That is our biggest downfall. It gives us the most anxiety, the most stress, the most frustration. Because almost like someone knocks you right under your feet, knocks you off your feet and throws you completely to the floor, makes you completely breathless because you don't see it coming. You absolutely don't see it coming because you don't remove the blinkers. You get so caught up in what's happening around you that you don't see it. It then begs the question of what kind of relationships are we leading? What kind of relationships are we having if we are so caught up with these blinkers? If we are so caught up in the space of not evaluating the engagements we have with people. If we're not engaging and looking at the space around us, if we're not looking at what's happening in the world around us, and we are not seeing the wood from the trees. There we go. I posted something this morning that reads as follows: love, whether romantic, familial, or platonic, is a two-way street. Often it is not reciprocated as well or as much as we'd like. Many situations have caused us to close the love tap on many, but we are inherently able to share love. We are inherently able to share love. It's part of our DNA. It's how we have been designed. Give love to ensure someone is made to feel special and appreciated. And let's hope that the same will be for you. Because unless we show compassion, unless we show love, unless we show a deep sense of humanity, we are going to live an isolated life. We are going to live a life of deep regret. Again, using this book by Peter Thiel called Outlive, The Science and Art of Longevity. He makes an interesting analogy and he says, as great as the research is for what we're doing now on how to live a long life, how long do you think you're going to live? Or how happy are you going to be if you live to 150 and there's nobody around you? Begs the question. With the blinkers on, what relationships are you holding? What spaces are you engaging people to have that relationship? Instead of reacting to an unpleasant situation with bitterness and frustration, change the mindset to have an open and loving space. Change the mindset and flip the script on that bitterness. Flip the script on the negativity that comes there. Because often we get caught in that space. We get caught in that space. We are so negative because our head and our spaces are consumed by the action of what someone has done without realizing that it may come from a place of hurt. It may come from a place of disillusionment. It may come from a place of pain. And we want to fight fire with fire. And then we don't get to a place where this happens.
Smile, though your heart
is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through for you. Light up your face with gladness. Hide every trace of sadness. Although a tear may be ever so near, that's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. That's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile.
With tailored shuttle solutions, you receive efficient and reliable transport without the hassle of booking fees and downtime via an app. Their service is affordable and even better if woman-owned and run. They are also the preferred transport partner for Afrikaap Radio. Contact Shani Peterson either by telephone or WhatsApp on 071-314-9133. Tailored shuttle solutions for tailor-made transport services.
Whether you like it light and sweet, or perhaps even dark and bitter, Jude's Rhyming Coffee Ground is the perfect java to kickstart your day. For every purchase made, they will donate 10 Rand to the Special Olympics team of the Western Cape. Follow them on social media, the Rhyming Ground Coffee Spot, or order now via WhatsApp on 076 682 8045. Jude's Rhyming Coffee Ground. Coffee for a cause.
Selling or renting property can be a very daunting task that may leave you feeling overwhelmed. Meraki Property Solutions facilitates a smooth and successful sale or rental process by matching qualified buyers and tenants with quality sellers and landlords so that the right property is matched to the right person. So, if you want to work with an agent who is not only experienced but also highly trained and knowledgeable, Meraki Property Solutions is the right choice for you. Contact them today to learn more about how they can help you achieve your real estate goals on 079 495 7358 or check out their website www.merakipropertylistings.co.za. Meraki Property Solutions, your local real estate matchmaker.
For more info, contact us on www.dnacafe.co.za.
So jy kantoormeubels vir jou klein besigheid, 'n staande onderneming of selfs vir jou home office?
Stukas is die beste tweedehands meubelswinkel in die noordelike voorstede.
Besoek ons by 5 Nicholsaak, Brackenfell en ontdek ons wye verskeidenheid kantoormeubels wat pas by jou begroting en behoeftes. Ons het alles wat jy nodig het om jou werksruimte te verbeter.
Volg ons op Facebook by Tukas Facebook-page. Skakel Johan Gysing slegs by afsprake 072 444 3401. Stukas,
Waar kwaliteit, begrotingsbaarheid hand in hand gaan.
24 hours of non-stop anthems.
Broadcasting live worldwide.
A wise man once said, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts." This is Walk to Wellness with Alton Davis, right here on Afrikaap Radio.
Welcome to Afrikaap Radio Online.
24/7.
Welcome to Afrikaap Radio, brought to you live from our studios in Cape Town. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Alton Davis. This is Walk to Wellness, brought to you by All My Sports SA. We are chatting about the growth mindset, and you are welcome to drop your comments, whether on my Facebook, my YouTube, my Instagram, or on our in-studio WhatsApp line on +27 069 245 9543. Cecilia makes a comment on the WhatsApp line. She says, "How sad is that to walk through life surrounded by many and yet lonely and alone?" Yeah, Cecilia, it's a tough one to wrap your head around, that even though we are surrounded by so many people, many of us still feel alone. Many of us still feel like we don't have anybody who understands us. We don't have anybody who supports us. We don't have anybody who is in our corner. It begs the question, what's wrong with you? Because why are we in a space when nobody wants to be around you? That's the more critical question for me. Not the fact that you're lonely. You are lonely as a result of actions. So what are the actions that you've done that cause people to distance themselves from you? I'm not meaning you, but in particular, Cecilia, it's just how my brain evaluates what you posted. And I agree with you. Many of us are empty. Many of us are lonely. Many of us do experience that. My question then is, what is the cause for people to walk away? What is the inherent behavior that you fall back to? What is the inherent subconscious activities that you do that pushes people away? Because unless we are able to unpack that and evaluate that, we are unable to shift the paradigm. We are unable to move into a different space. We are unable to grow, which is what we're talking about. So someone once said, one of the first steps in adapting a growth mindset is self-awareness, understanding where and how you may have learned a fixed mindset. One of the first steps in adopting a growth mindset is self-awareness, understanding where and how you may have learned to have a fixed mindset. A scientist by the name of what is the name? Goldberg. Goldberg said that in 2010. What causes you to be stuck in that mud? More importantly, why are you still in that mud? Why have you not figured out or seen or called for help? And that is where we need to get to. Unless we come back to that space of seeing that we are stuck, we are not going to move. We are not going to do anything because we think that we are moving at neck-breaking speed when we are crawling like a snail. Because we are so stuck in our beliefs, we are so stuck in where we think we are miles ahead, as the Nat King Cole song says. We're not even smiling. We're not even seeing life differently, purely because we are concerned and constructed in a particular way that forces us to stay there. It forces us to see life in a box. And you want to confine everything in that one box, as opposed to reframing where we are, where we unpack and see life differently. Because unless we are able to do that, we are going to get stuck in that space. We're going to have negative self-talk. We're going to have negative self-love, or no self-love for that matter. We are not going to be able to progress because we can't see that there is space for growth. We need to become mindful and not get hooked on the negative and catastrophic feelings and thoughts that woe is me, I'm done. Woe is me because there's nobody here in my space. There's nobody to support me. There's nobody to walk this journey with me. But have you asked? Have you engaged with people to come alongside you? Invariably, the answer is no. Because again, like last week, we are strong-minded. We're not mentally strong. Mentally strong, we'll be able to engage in our space, and able to see where we're at, and able to understand the challenges that we face. As opposed to being strong-minded and being stubborn and saying, this mud is great. I don't need anybody to pull me out. I'm stuck. I'm peachy. I'm happy because this is where I want to be. Is that where you really want to be? Or is that only because you are stubborn? You are stubborn because your life has forced you to become stubborn. It's forced you to be in a space where you don't want to depend on other people. You don't want to get other people part of your life because you are stuck for various reasons. Ego, image, commitment to the promises you made without realizing the consequences. And when we humble enough to ask for forgiveness, when we are humble enough to say I'm wrong, when we are humble enough to ask someone to help, I think, and I know, that those blinkers will slowly come off. Because the proof is in the pudding. It's not about the words. It's not about the words that we say. It's about the action. It's about how we live our lives for people to see the evidence of what is spoken. Because it's one thing to say X, but you do Y. Do as I do, don't do as I say. My mother used to say. I'll tell you what to do. Doesn't mean you must do what I'm doing. Do what I tell you to do. Show the respect. Listen to your elders. Listen to what we say. Again, takes me back to that trauma space where we have been exposed to a myriad of trauma experiences over time in various spaces. You were told you were stupid. You were told not to play there. You were told don't play with that one. That person then chased you away because you wanted to go play there. How do we deal with that trauma? Have we dealt with it? Cecilia says, reaching out isn't easy, but when you take the first step, the next one becomes easier. 100% Cecilia. But in order to take that first step in dealing with the trauma, in engaging with people, in being humble, it takes commitment. It takes resilience. It takes willpower. It takes someone with a strong mind to be able to see the wood from the trees. And when we do that, that person will come alongside you, whomever it may be. Again, find someone that is trusted, someone that has your best interest at heart, someone who is not a frenemy. And a frenemy is someone who you think is your friend, but is actually your enemy. Someone who is there to plot your own demise. Someone who is there in your space to make sure that they keep an eye on you, to make sure that things don't go that well. And there are many of those in our spaces. There are many of those in our spaces where we are caught up in this cycle of wanting to have friends and not being alone. And the people we choose are often the ones that hurt us the most. And we then need to take those very same people whom we have chosen to be in our corner and get them to be your accountability partner. Get them to be there, to be able to walk the journey with you, to be able to take the step in the positive direction. Because once you're able to have an accountability partner, the goals that you have set for yourself, the short term, the medium term, the long term goals, those become easier. Because now you have someone knocking on your door to say, hello, my friend. You promised me you're going to do X, Y, and Z by such and such a day. How far are you in that journey? Where have you gone? How far have you stepped? What are the challenges that you face? Let's navigate those challenges. How do we get through them? What do we need to do? And just because someone is in your space doesn't mean and quantify them and qualify them to be your friend. For me, a friend is someone who I can call in the midst of a storm. It's someone I can call when an accident happens. It's someone I can call when I am stranded. Whether it is 10 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 10 o'clock at night, 3 o'clock in the morning. That's a friend. Not someone who's there for the good times. Or someone I can call and say, be honest and say, listen, man, I don't have food on my table today. I don't have petrol in my tank. And that person, without blinking, will send you money, will send you food. Do you have those kinds of people in your life? I know I do. I don't have many of them, but I have a few. I have a few of those kinds of people that at any given point in time, I'm able to pick up the phone or send a message and say, listen, is there any chance that you can assist me in X, Y, and Z? And invariably, they may not be able to give me everything I'm needing, but they're able to give me something. And that for me is a true friend. Because unless you get there, we're not going to have this.
Simple touch of your hand and everything is right. The gentle way you look at me when we kiss goodnight. You've given me the freedom no other love has known. Now I thank you, girl. You girl, thank you, girl. You girl, the countless ways you've touched my heart is more than I can say. More than I can say. The beauty that you've shown to me takes my breath away. Takes my a picture perfectly. That's what all is. And yes, I need you so. Need you so. And now I know. I found a masterpiece in you. A work of art is true. And I treasure you. I found a masterpiece in you. A work of art is true. And I treasure you. Sometimes I wonder what I'd be had I not found you. A lost and lonely soul, this world is showing nothing new. And now my life's a canvas, painted with the love, and it will always be, always be. Now I see the two of us together through time will never be. This fairy tale we shared, this feel inside our hearts. Let it be forever, never ending. This promise I can make. Heaven is ours today. I found a masterpiece in you. The work of art is true. And I treasure you. I found a masterpiece in you. The work of art is true. And I treasure you. Lost and insecure, you be up and be sure everything will turn out right. My love, I found a masterpiece in you. The work of art is true, and I treasure you. I found a masterpiece in you. The work of art is true, and I treasure you. Staring down your tears, it's been inside our hearts. It's true. Yeah. Let it be forever. Please never.
Welcome to Afrikaap Radio Online.
24/7.
A wise man once said, success is not final, failure is not fatal, It's the courage to continue that counts. This is Walk to Wellness with Alton David, right here on Afrikaap Radio.
Welcome to Afrikaap Radio Online.
24/7.
All right, welcome to Afrikaap Radio Online 24/7, your internet radio station of choice, where we bring you choice music, great presenters, and amazing content. My name's Elton. This is Walk to Wellness. We've got just on 40 minutes to go, and we're trying to get through all my thoughts. However, I am digressing from my show notes. So I'm trying to pull myself back every time because my mind just goes in different directions, which is half good and half bad, I suppose. So we're talking about a growth mindset and how do we develop a better mindset. And often we get into the space where we are caught in this world of the yin-yang. We get caught in the space where life has thrown us an absolute curveball and we are unsure of what's happening. We are unsure of where we are going. We are unsure of the challenges that life has thrown upon us. And that is where we find ourselves caught in a significant battle, I think, between positivity and negativity. We're caught in that battle of fighting what's happening. We're caught in that battle of how do we get ourselves out of this mess? How do we get ourselves out of the chains that hold us back without having to do things completely different? And that's where we're going tonight. We want to talk about the opportunities of making things different. We want to go into the space of having to do things and have a different mindset. And go into a space where people will see us differently, where people will experience us differently, where people will want to be around us. As Cecilia said in our WhatsApp line on +27 0692459543, it's sad that people are around us and yet we still feel alone. And yet we are still lonely. Because loneliness and emptiness is a result of our poor adult life. It's a result of our poor interpersonal relationships. And a fixed mindset is the belief that the abilities and talents that we have are innate and inflexible, that they are static, that they are immovable. And that, for me, is difficult to accept. That everything within us, our abilities, our talents are immovable. It's inflexible, it's static. It is like we are that tree. And even that tree is movable. Even that tree is growing. It's developing new shoots, it's developing new branches. Whereas some of us are dead internally. We are dead emotionally, spiritually, mentally. Because we have become robots. We have become victims of our own circumstance. We have become unconscious beings. We believe that everything that is in our space is pointless. It's a waste of time and energy and resources to do anything different. Because nothing's going to change. Nothing is going to change. It's the mantra these people have. It's the mantra that no matter what is going to happen, I'll come back to the same old rugged life. I'll come back to the same old pain and suffering. I'll come back to the same old horrible life I have. And we put that out there. And we wonder why we are not growing. We are wondering why we are not engaging in positivity. Because we don't believe there's positivity. We don't believe that things are changing. We don't believe that there are opportunities for growth. And unless we change that mindset and we break their shackles, we are not going to grow. So here are some tips. If you are making notes, here's some tips for you. So the first tip to think about is, how do we get through a difficult situation? Who or what is in our space to allow us to get through a difficult situation? What are we going to do differently? We are going to be able to evaluate the space. We are going to see the challenge and obstacle that's in front of us. Often we say we eat an elephant one bite at a time. Yes, I agree. But we need to be able to see that there is an elephant first before we're able to bite it, before we're able to attack it, before we're able to bring it to its knees. We need to know that it's an elephant. We need to know that it's an animal that requires this kind of weapon to dismantle it, to disarm it, to bring it down to its knees. And unless we get to that space, that animal's going to tear us to pieces. We need to know that it's an elephant and not a lion. That's the first port of call. And then we need to be able to learn from the mistakes that we've made. Someone with a fixed mindset is someone who believes that nothing can be done. He believes, or she believes, that a mistake simply means that we've hit the limit of what there is to learn. Aye, shame. Shame. We are stuck in that belief that if I fail, there's nothing more I can do. I've tried. We had a defeatist mentality. But if we grow and believe that we can learn from mistake, we can understand what happened, we can evaluate it, we can improve, we can do something better next time. That is a growth mentality. That is a growth opportunity, because you are realizing that you've hit a wall. You're realizing that this elephant is so huge, it's going to take you a month and Sundays to consume. Great. You're on the right path, because now you're realizing and unpacking and seeing the limitations of that space. Because unless you see the limitations of the space that you're in, you're not going to be able to call for help. You're not going to be able to fully understand the magnitude of what's happening. You're not going to be fully conscious of all the drama that's around that space. And once we are able to understand that and be able to see that there are things happening, we are able to move. We are then able to accept the feedback that comes. And the feedback may be that the elephant is not dead yet. It may be that we need an extra 4 pair of hands to do something with this elephant. Tie the feet together, tie the trunk together. I don't know. But because things are happening, we now need to do something. And when things are happening, we now need to be able to believe in ourselves that we can do this. Because unless we can believe that we can do this, nothing's going to happen. When you believe there is always something to learn, you can challenge yourself to stay engaged. You can challenge yourself to be focused. You can challenge yourself to be committed, to drive the process, to be able to engage in something that is live and active. Because unless we are able to find that space and challenge ourselves, we are going to be dead. Dead mentally, dead physically, dead spiritually, dead emotionally. And probably eventually dead financially as well. Because there are opportunities for learning every second of every day. There are opportunities for growth in every step, in every single thing that we do. And unless we realize that that is where we're at, nothing's going to happen. We need to take inspiration from other people. We need to look at what they've done. We need to look and understand what are the successes of other people. We need to be able to see the mistakes of other people. Unbiased. Unbiased. And by that I mean, look at the situation, not the person. Take into account that, Elton, is this person, this is the situation, that's the outcome. Now evaluate it and say, is the outcome because of Elton or because of the situation? Is it because of the expertise and skills and the history that Elton brings into the situation that has resulted in this outcome? If we remove Elton and put Peter there, or John, or Mary, or Sue, or Heidi, in that same situation, would the same outcome be there? And that's how we need to be thinking about things. And then have the agility and ability to realize that I need to pivot. I need to do it differently if I want a different outcome. Again, every action has an equal but opposite reaction. If I don't change that perspective, I'm going to be stuck there. I'm going to be stuck in that space of not knowing where to go, what to do, who to contact, and the outcomes may be exactly the same. My question to you then is that what you want? Is that what you want for the space that you find yourself? Or do you want to experience a different outcome? Do you want to experience something that is completely different? Because if you do, this is what happens. This is the feedback some of your people will give you.
Feels like I've seen you before. Maybe in a past life you were mine and I was yours. 'Cause the vibe we share feels so comfortable. Is it possible someone could make me lose control? Finding it hard to breathe. 'Cause I just can't believe you're feeling me like I'm feeling you. I had to pinch myself, 'cause nobody else giving me such a chance. It made me feel great. I just gotta let you know, in case you didn't know, I think you're wonderful. There's this thing you do to me, that thing that makes me weak. Baby, I think you're wonderful. Questioning what this is, if it's too good to be true. I don't wanna fool myself, 'cause I'm falling off for you. Giving me that old school love, saying I'm the only one, showing me in so many ways that you're crazy about me. What you done to me, finding it hard to breathe. 'Cause I just can't believe feeling me like I'm feeling you. I had to pinch myself, 'cause nobody else giving me such a chance. Made me feel the way I feel. I just gotta let you know, in case you didn't know, I think you're wonderful. There's this thing you do to me, that thing that makes me weak. Baby, I think you're wonderful. I don't need way. Far away from you, it would be okay. As long as you are there, you take away my pain. I'll never be ashamed. You got my heart, baby, and what to say. I just gotta let you know, in case you didn't know. This thing you do to me, that's the thing that makes me feel. Baby, I just gotta let you know, in case you didn't know. In case you didn't know. Oh yeah, that makes me feel. Baby, I
Selling or renting property can be a very daunting task that may leave you feeling overwhelmed. Meraki Property Solutions facilitates a smooth and successful sale or rental process by matching qualified buyers and tenants with quality sellers and landlords so that the right property is matched with the right person. So, if you want to work with an agent who is not only experienced but also highly trained and knowledgeable, Meraki Property Solutions is the right choice for you. Contact them today to learn more about how they can help you achieve your real estate goals on 079 495 7358 or check out their website www.merakipropertylistings.co.za. Meraki Property Solutions, your local real estate matchmaker.
With tailored shuttle solutions, you receive efficient and reliable transport without the hassle of booking fees and downtime via an app. Their service is affordable and even better if woman-owned and run. They are also the preferred transport partner for Afrikaap Radio. Contact Shani Peterson either by telephone or WhatsApp on 071 314 9133. Tailored shuttle solutions for tailor-made transport services.
Soek jy kantoormeubels vir jou klein besigheid, bestaande onderneming of selfs vir jou home office?
Stukas is die beste tweedehands meubelswinkel in die noordelike voorstede.
Besoek ons by 5 Nicholsaak, Brackenfell en ontdek ons wye verskeidenheid kantoormeubels wat pas by jou begroting en behoeftes. Ons het alles wat jy nodig het om jou werksruimte te verbeter.
Volg ons op Facebook by Tukas Facebook-page. Skakel Johan Gysing slegs by afsprake 072-444-3401. Tukas,
waar kwaliteit, begrotingsbaarheid hand in hand gaan.
Whether you like it light and sweet, or perhaps even dark and bitter, Jude's Rhyming Coffee Grind is the perfect java to kickstart your day. For every purchase made, they will donate 10 Rand to the Special Olympics team of the Western Cape. Follow them on social media, the Rhyming Grind Coffee Spot, or order now via WhatsApp on 076 682 8045. Jude's Rhyming Coffee Grind. Coffee for a cause.
A wise man once said, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts." This is Walk to Wellness with Alton David, right here on Afrikaap Radio.
Welcome to Afrikaap Radio Online.
24/7.
All right, welcome back. We are nearing the end of our time together on Walk to Wellness, brought to you by All My Sports SA. My name is Alton Davids, and we're talking about growing a. We're talking about growing and changing our mindset. I needed to phrase that simply. No highfalutin things, no academia. It's about changing the way we think. It's about changing the way that we view life. I'm going to chuck a few tips at you. Use it, don't use it. Again, these are the concepts that I've used. These are the thoughts that I have. They do not necessarily affect the views of the radio station. However, I have permission to share some of these things. So take it from whence it comes. Use it, don't use it. The first tip I'd like to give you is to identify your current space. And I've been hammering and reinforcing some of these things because unless we hear it over and over and over, repetition breeds success. Repetition breeds understanding. Repetition breeds acceptance. Repetition breeds love. So identify your current space using self-awareness, because the self-awareness tools that we have, and we spoke about last week about mindfulness. What do we see around us? What do we feel? What do we experience? How does it make me feel? What does it do for me? What does it do to me? Who's in my space? And once we're able to understand that, we go into the next space of the SWOT analysis. What is the strengths? What's the weaknesses? What are the opportunities? What are the threats? Who's in that space? How do I navigate around that space? What can I do differently? Then I need to be patient. And often many of us don't have the patience to sit back. And last week I spoke about analysis paralysis, where we get so caught up that we want to analyze something to the depth without realizing that the train is moving and it's heading off the cliff. We can't be sitting evaluating for the rest of our lives, hoping that the cliff is never going to come. Sometimes you need to get to a point where you say, either to and no further. I'm stopping here now. I'm using the information I have, and I'm going to develop 5 models. Of those 5 models, one of them will work. Because unless you get to a point where you are able to take the information and develop, in the very beginning, I used the word paradigm. And a paradigm is a theory of something. So create 5 paradigms, create 5 opportunities, evaluate them, and see which one fits best. It may not be one, it may be a combination of all 5 that will fit that situation. Maybe not perfectly hand in glove, but it will work. And then once you get to that point, you implement. Focus on the positive actions rather than the negativity of the leftover mess that's there. Focus on what you can take and that is potentially going to work in a situation. Once we are able to do that, we can then see if this will be successful. Once we're able to understand that and make notes from that learning, we are then able to plot a trajectory of where we want to go. And by plotting the trajectory, we have strengths, we have weaknesses, we have opportunities, we have threats, we have short term, we have medium term, we have long term goals. We have people in that path that is going to help us get there. Make the list. Engage with them. Write the pros and cons. Then with them, celebrate the successes. Celebrate the victories of what has been achieved. But then also don't be foolish enough to think that that's the end. See that there are opportunities for growth. There's opportunities for improvement. There are opportunities to do things differently. There are opportunities to make changes. And understand that there are things that will change. There are things that we need to see differently, that we need to shape differently to be able to do this. I'm going to play a song by Sting, one of my favorites. I've got 10 more little nuggets I want to give to you, and then I'm going to close.
As a meditation, those he plays never suspect. He doesn't play for the money he wins. He doesn't play for respect. He deals the cards to find the answer. The sacred geometry of chance. The hidden law of a probable outcome. The numbers lead a dance. I know that the spades are the swords of a soldier. I know that the clubs are weapons of war. I know that diamonds been made for this art. That's not the shape of my heart. He may play the jack of diamonds. He may lay the queen of spades. You can see the king in his hand, while the memory of it fades. I know that the spades are the swords of a soldier. I know that the clubs are weapons of war. I know that diamonds meant for this art. That's not the shape of my heart. That's not the shape of my heart. If I told her that I loved you, you made me think there's something wrong. I'm not a man, but too many faces, and that's not where it's one. Although I speak with nothing, find out to their cause. Like those who question their love. Too many places. those who fear lost. Look at the space of the swords and the soldier. Let the clubs and weapons of war. I'm running diamonds, running for this heart. But that's not the shape of my heart. That's not the shape of my heart. That's not the shape of my heart.
A wise man once said, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts." This is Walk to Wellness with Alton David, right here on Afrikaap Radio.
Welcome to Afrikaap Radio Online.
24/7.
All right, welcome back. We are coming to the end of our time together on Walk to Wellness, brought to you by All My Sports live from our studios in Cape Town. I'm going to give you 10 tips, another 10 tips on how to engage with people from a different perspective. Now you're on the outside. You are the friend who is there to offer support to somebody. Remember, I spoke about it from the inside out. I'm going to speak about it from the outside in terms of the people who are on the outside offering support. So the first thing you need to be thinking about is avoid just praising for the sake of praising. And it sounds crazy, but you can't just keep reinforcing bad behavior. You can't keep reinforcing the negativity or the mediocre experiences that people are putting together. Because unless you are honest in your approach as an accountability partner, you're setting your friend up for failure. You're setting your friend up for disaster, because they're going to keep trying, and because you keep telling them, "Oh, you're doing great. Keep it going. Keep it going." But they're not even on the path. So where are they going? How are you keeping people to be accountable if you are not even giving them the right information? You need to find different ways of engaging with people. Some people have different reward systems. Some people want words of affirmation. I was reminded by a listener earlier today about the Valentine's program where we spoke about the 5 love languages. So find out what is the language that people want to hear. Is it gifts? Is it time? Is it the sense of commitment? Is it a sense of touch? What are the touch points that trigger somebody? What are the touch points that's going to motivate me to be successful? And that's what you need to be focusing on if you're the accountability partner. As I said to you last week, I think it was, I'm an accountability partner for a guy who was going through serious anxiety. And yesterday I sent him a message. I said, "Brother, it's been 2 days since you've not reported to me. What is going on?" That's all I said. And his response was, "I'm guilty of not doing what I committed to do." And I said, what are you guilty of? What did you not do? I said, A, I didn't do the exercises. B, I didn't eat well. C, I didn't write down my daily activities and my daily thoughts. I said, great. It's great that you acknowledge it. My question is, what's the next step? And he said, when I saw your message, I realized the error of my ways. And I sat and I wrote down what I had done and what I had eaten, and I did a little bit of exercise. And I said, oh, okay. And his immediate response after that was, thank you for your message. I said, now, well done. Well done that you have made me your accountability partner. And all I needed to do was send you a message to make you feel, or to bring you back to a mindful state, to realize where you're at. And he said, that's what I want. I don't want somebody screaming down on me and saying, why have you not done this? When are you going to do this? I just want someone to walk the journey with me and ask me the probing questions. And for me, there wasn't probing. I was like, brah, where are you? Why are you so quiet? And it made me realize that what is deep for some may be shallow for someone else. So understand the playing field you're playing in. Understand the demographics of where you're working. Understand the content and the context of what you have in front of you. And be able to unpack it so that you come up with a custom solution to deal with the challenges, and to come up with a custom solution to deal with the problem. Find simple and easy ways to support them. Again, find that custom package to be able to offer them the support for them to be better, for them to be stronger, for them to be more committed, for them to see differently. Your job is merely to walk there. Your job is merely to support them. Hand on the back. I'm walking next to you. You can't fall back. I've got you. I'm there to support you. I'm there to anticipate potential roadblocks. I'm there to anticipate potential challenges. Because I'm looking at it from a different perspective from being inside. I'm looking at it as almost a lifeguard on a tower looking at the ocean and seeing the shark coming in the distance and trying to get the people out the water. That's my job, sitting on this outside as someone who is an accountability partner. Not to be in the water swimming next to you. My job is to make sure that you get out. My job is to make sure that you're safe. My job then is also to be able to get you to try and understand why you're getting out of that water. By making you stop, turn around, looking at what's happening around you and seeing the fin of that shark. And then being able to process all of this and understand that I need to find a different solution and know that I need to be conscious of these things. But more importantly, allow that person to have the time to be able to do that. And often we need to get people to journal stuff. Whether they write it down, whether they speak it into a recording device. Often that helps. More often than not, it is the go-to solution for many challenges, because people then have the opportunity to record things and reflect on a time when time goes by. We need to help them build SMART goals. And a SMART goal is something that is specific. It's something that's measurable. It's something that's attainable or agreed upon. It's something that's realistic. And more importantly, it's time-based. My job as an accountability partner is to make sure that you reach those goals. My job is to make sure that I keep you positive. My job is to make sure that I keep you on the straight and narrow. My job is to make sure that you are walking the path that you've committed to doing. My job is to help you to master the skills to get you through the next phase. My job is to help you to manage that negative self-talk. My job is to help you manage the tough and hard times where we are fighting within ourselves and that inner turmoil wants to get us to give up. It's the accountability partner's job to be there. It's that person's job to say, remember last week when you had that experience, this is how we solved it. What did we do? What were the steps? What did we put in place? How did we make it happen? Those are the things, my friends, that we need to do. Both as an accountability partner and also as someone who is seeking to do a change. Someone who's seeking to do things differently. Someone who is trying to have a positive mindset. Someone who is trying to have a growth mindset. Someone, to use Cecilia's words, to be surrounded by people and not be alone. To be surrounded by people and be loved, cared, and appreciated and valued. I'm going to close with the words of a message that Rechana posted on Facebook. It says, thank you for the reminder. You are on point. You need to have a purpose. Don't wait for a wake-up call. Start now. It's never too late. We are responsible for our own growth, happiness, joy, and success. Life was never promised to be easy. Life needs to be lived. Sure. Right? You're on point there, my friend. Don't wait for a wake-up call. Start now. It's never too late. We are responsible for our own growth, happiness, joy, success, and I'm going to add in there purpose and value. Life was never promised to be easy. Life needs to be lived. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for sharing your time with me, allowing me into your space. I hope after this, you will internalize some of those thoughts and reflect on them. If you missed some of them, it is on my YouTube channel, on my Facebook, for you to go back and listen, because I hope that many of you will still be a friend of mine. My name is Alton Davis. Thank you very much for tuning in to Walk to Wellness, brought to you by All My Sports SA. I'm saying goodbye with a lovely song by Incognito, still a friend of mine. See you same time, same place next week. Ciao for now.
You know it's true, strings are tall, and how the ways to fall. Ooh, it sometimes rains in paradise, and even the warmest heart can turn to ice. I know it happens to us all. Every kind of people fall, and after all the tears are gone, do we have the heart to carry on? Even now, still a friend of mine, oh, you're still a friend of mine. Still a friend of mine, oh, still a friend of mine. Still a friend of mine, oh, you're still a friend of mine. think of all the times I hurt you and never forgive you. Oh, I treated you so very baby. Cause such a cruel heart never be free. I know it happens to us all. Every kind of people. And after all is said and done, do we have the heart to carry on? Still somehow, still a friend of mine, oh, still a friend of mine, still a friend of mine, oh, still a friend of mine, still a friend of mine, oh, still a friend of mine. I know as long as I got you, and we do the things we do. Can't stop, baby, and I love can't stop. I do the best that I can to turn it around. Still somehow, still a friend of mine, oh, still a friend of mine, still a friend of mine, oh, still a friend of mine, still a friend of mine, oh, still a friend of mine. I'm a friend of mine, oh, still a friend right now, still a Jesus come up, oh, still a friend right now, still a friend of mine, oh, still a friend right now.
A wise man once said, success is not final, failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts. This is Walk to Wellness with Alton Davis, right here on Afrikaap Radio.
Welcome to Afrikaap Radio Online.
24/7.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good evening. Ciao.